Thanks for joining me today for this session called Helping Children Weather Life Storms. My name is Lisa Murray, and I'm a parent. And I know there are many things my son has experienced over the course of his 22 years that has caused him to need to be resilient. In this session, I'm going to talk to you about the 7 key traits for resiliency and how you can help grow and build those traits within your children. So let's get started. I think it's important to first look at the definition of resiliency. Resilience is the ability to withstand adversity and bounce back from difficult life events. Being resilient does not mean that people don't experience stress. Being a parent is the toughest job you'll ever have. You know that your child is going to experience a lot of setbacks during their lifetime, just as you have. Being a resilient model for your child is so important. You can help them understand that life storms will fall and we can be protected and bounce back a little more quickly if we have resiliency. Children experience a range of different types of stress, too numerous to list here. This is just a few examples of life storms that will test a child's resiliency. If your family or your child has experienced more than a few of these stressors, then it's even more important that they possess the traits necessary to bounce back. Sometimes these life storms come in pairs, and this creates a serious situation for our child, the whole when it rains it pours scenario. If a parent is experiencing these and are not resilient themselves, it becomes much more difficult for our child to be resilient. The last 3 stressors can be especially challenging for a child because the parents are faced with having to handle their own storm and they are trying to manage the stress for their child. Parents should teach their children how to remain strong by stretching and springing forward during and after a setback. This will be a very important life lesson. In a study on resiliency, it was determined that children who faced extreme stress in their homes coped with that stress by using 7 key resilient traits. The strength of each of these traits directly impacted the strength of their resiliency. There are 3 stages to resiliency, and each of these traits is developed during these stages. During childhood, adolescence, and adulthood, our child will have experiences that will make them flex their resilient muscles. And with the right guidance and modeling, those muscles will get stronger over time. Resiliency studies have proven that over the course of a lifetime, we are fine-tuning our resiliency traits. And the earlier we start, the more resilient we become overall. Parents need to first examine the model they are providing their child. If you lived in a home where there were positive models for resiliency, you may have developed those traits and hopefully over time got stronger. If you had poor models, then some of your personal life storms may have become even more challenging, since getting through them would be much more difficult without a positive role model. As I talk about each trait, I want you as a parent to rate yourself from 1 to 5, 5 being a strong positive trait for you. Just like teachers and other adult figures in our child's life, we are modeling these traits, good or bad, and we must have self-awareness to better understand how we may be impacting the development of these traits in our precious children. There are plenty of teachable moments as parents that provide the opportunities to build on these 7 key resilient traits. Embedded in your daily interactions and experiences with your child are life's resiliency moments. The last chocolate chip cookie that gets dropped on the floor, the bad grade, the broken heart, the soccer game they lost are all resiliency moments. I'm going to give you a few ideas on how to become even more intentionally focused on parenting in a way that encourages the 7 key resilient traits. As you can see with the examples above, providing simple activities like using puppets and role-playing will increase a child's ability to develop the trait of insight. Children who also develop a large vocabulary for feelings will also be able to express how they are feeling and may recognize the feelings in others, developing even deeper insight into a situation. Insight is that mental habit of asking tough questions, being able to read signals from others, identifying the source of a problem, and looking under the surface for answers. When children are learning how to use insight in childhood, they may ask a lot of questions, tell you that something doesn't feel right, and may be in tune at reading people's body language, and they could sense when a feeling has changed. As you can see with the examples above, these are good opportunities for you as parents to teach insight. A home that has structure and boundaries in place helps children learn what is expected of them behaviorally. This type of environment provides the structure that allows for assertive behavior, which can lead to taking initiative. Initiative is that ability to master oneself and one's environment, including creative problem solving, the enjoyment of figuring out how things work, and generating constructive activities. Children who take initiative quickly learn that this assertive behavior can be very beneficial over time, and they learn to increase its effectiveness. Independence. In childhood, we learn good and bad lessons about having or not having boundaries. When we are independent, it gives us the freedom to protect our right to safe boundaries between ourselves and others, including emotional distancing, and long-term, that helps us know when to separate from unhealthy relationships. This trait can provide significant benefits over the course of our lifetime because we do not rely on others to meet all of our needs. We meet our needs independently. For children to become independent at their particular stage of development, they need opportunities to attempt to solve problems on their own, make mistakes, and learn from them. Building young children's self-esteem is a very important part of creating independence. We want to use specific, descriptive praise to help build their self-esteem. Be intentional about providing simple activities to promote independence, like letting them make their own peanut butter sandwich and put their own laundry away. It's okay if they get it in the wrong drawer. Build on small success to help promote this important trait of independence. In many studies on resiliency, the one trait that stands out to be critically important is relationships. It's having the presence of at least one positive role model in a child's life. Ideally, that positive role model is you or another parent. We never know the impact we're having on a child's life, and remembering that every interaction we have gives us the opportunity to build a strong, trusting, and caring relationship with that child is so important. Over time, a child will need to recognize healthy and unhealthy friends and partners. And being able to develop and maintain those relationships is an important resilient trait. Relationship building skills will be critical for your child's resilience. And having a strong network of friends that can support them during times of struggle will be an important building block for a strong foundation for resiliency. The importance of helping children learn how to build healthy relationships can't be overstated. No matter how young your child is, they can begin to form social connections and friendships and just be encouraged to do so. Taking your child to the park, encouraging them to join a game of tag with another group of children, or having play dates at your house to encourage friendship building skills will help them develop solid relationship and social skills. Of course, providing the positive modeling in your home with your spouse, partner, other family member, and friends is very important as well. Let's look at the last three traits. Creativity. Having a creative mind allows us to use the arts to escape, cope, or express how we feel, especially during a challenging time. This can include playing an instrument, being artistic with drawings, journaling, participating in theater, and many other examples. You may find it easy to encourage the trait of creativity. At home, you can give your child a lot of options for the arts, and it can be a great way to help them discover the importance of being able to creatively express themselves. Music and arts and crafts activities are usually fun for young children, and you may just ignite a passion for something creative in them. Make sure you encourage a child who may not have a lot of confidence in participating in these types of activities.
by recognizing small accomplishments, and over time, hopefully they will see the joy in joining in. Humor. We all know how important this trait is, right? When we are able to see the bright side of things or make something just a little lighter emotionally by seeing something funny in it, we are using the resilient trait of humor. Of course, we don't want to encourage children to make a joke out of all of life's hardships. We just want them to remember that there can be a brighter side to situations, and using humor reduces tension and can make a bad situation feel just a little better. Parents need to model this trait and make sure we let our child know it's okay to be silly, and at times we can find something to laugh about even when we're sad. Growing up in a very serious home where there is not much fun or laughter is not enjoyable. Notice when your child tells a funny joke or even attempts to make a joke. Encourage optimism and looking at the brighter side of things. Helping children find at least one positive outcome from a situation can be a good practice for a lifetime of setbacks and disappointments. Morality. This trait means you have the ability to know what's right and wrong and stand up for those beliefs, including being able to take risks for them and finding joy in helping others. Exposing your child to volunteering in the community is a great way to promote empathy. When children understand that they are not the center of the universe and there are other people with unique backgrounds, religions, opinions, interests, and needs, this will build on the important trait of morality. Of course, your family may follow certain religious or other moral guidelines, and you will teach that to your child at each developmental stage. Remember that all of these traits are being developed through the 3 stages. So with each one, it will continue to improve with more positive modeling and practice. Tune in to everyday interactions you have with your child, and remember that each of those interactions provides you an opportunity to build on one or more of the 7 key resilient traits. It's a joy and a challenge to be a parent, and you only get a very small window of time in both childhood and adolescence to promote these traits.
I hope you enjoyed this session on resiliency. I have a few takeaways for you. First, as parents, we need to recognize the areas in which we need to improve in resiliency. And by doing so, we will be able to be a better role model for resilient traits for our children. Next, focus on those 7 key traits and promoting those. And how do you do that? Do it through life's teachable moments, those special parent-child moments when you can teach your child how to bounce back. I wish you the best of luck, parents. Take care.